Hey guys, welcome back to All Things Outdoors. Getting ready to pack up and get ready for a trip, meeting a bunch of friends at Land Between the Lakes in Kentucky. And I'm trying to make the most of the space that I have. When I go to pack up the Bronco, there's always a lot of different small items that I have a hard time keeping track of. It seems like anytime I pack Sassy up, there's always something that I can't find or get shifted around. Usually it's batteries, soft shackles, maybe even toiletries, who knows. I'm trying to find a way to keep myself more organized. I noticed the use of Molle Panels in a lot of full-time nomad and overlander videos. I reached out to a company, Broaddict Off-Road. They had a set of Molle Panels for the back quarter panels or back rear window for the Bronco, and I wanted to give them a try. So they actually did send these out to me, and we're going to install these right now and then see if that might help us with a little bit of our organization for our up and coming off-road trip. So let's get these installed. So here are the directions. Pretty self-explanatory. It's not overly complicated. In fact, it looks like if you can take off your soft top, you shouldn't have a problem putting these brackets on to put on the back Molle Panels. The only difference is the rear seatbelt bolt that you have to pull out of the top, which will do that. So now that we found the directions, we're going to take it step by step and see if we can't get this sucker installed here. Let's get started.
Welcome back to All Things Outdoors. Today
You're
we'll
grounded.
be...
You're grounded.
Get
your skates out of the garage.
You know what a voiceover is?
Yes.
I can do your voiceover. Welcome back to All Things Outdoors. Today we'll be inside a quarter panel.
It's a Molle grid panel.
Okay, bye. Good
Bye.
luck on your quarter panel.
All right, thank you.
Good luck to all the A-talkers watching. Woo!
Here's what we got going on. First step, we're going to take this bolt out of the seatbelt, and then we're going to slide. Then we're going to slide this little guy behind that, and that gives us something to mount the panel to that keeps it away from the shock. So, pretty simple. Just pop that off. It literally just pulls right off, and then we're going to torque this bad dad off of there. One of the things, there's a spacer between the seatbelt mount and then the hole in here. That keeps it from just breaking the plastic. Just make sure you take the seatbelt spacer off of there, and you want the metal bracket to go underneath it. So that way it's not digging into this plastic. It obviously won't fit in there. So next step, we're going to take this just by twisting this little cap off. And then we're going to take this spacer out of here, and then we'll get this bracket mounted in here. Okay, so we're going to put the bolt through there, put the spacer on, and then we're going to get this sucker started back in here. All right, and then that should fit in there nicely. Really paranoid about stripping that out. That'd be a pain. That's why a lot of times I'd rather start something off or just do it by hand. I'm going to keep this fairly loose. That way I can adjust it as needed. Once I get the panel totally hooked up, that's when I'll go back and tighten this down. But for right now, we're going to leave it a little more pliable so that way I can get it into the correct position. All right. Next step. Next step, we have these little L brackets here that's going to get mounted right there, and it does come with the hardware to hook it up. So we're going to go ahead and mount that. This is just right on the back roll bar, right above the bottle opener. So we'll go ahead and put that on there right now. All right, that is just snugged up to where I can move it around and then get it lined up as well too. Nice thing is the torque tool that comes in the Bronco kit works for this as well too, so I didn't have to hunt that. All right, One more bracket to put in place here. What we got next? We got these plastic panels that just kind of pop out here. So if I can get that out of there. Without... There we go. Okay. So whenever you take your soft top off, you usually remove that panel, and that's where you pop off these bolts, and then you could remove the entire soft top. All right, we're gonna pull these two bolts out, and then this bracket goes right here, and then it goes right back in. And then your plastic panel will just snap right back into place underneath it. Shouldn't be any problem at all. One of my biggest fears is dropping these two bolts after I loosen them up down into the abyss. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a towel and just kind of put there to where if I do accidentally drop them, maybe they don't fall all the way down. So we're gonna pop these bad dads out, and we're just removing the top two. And then we're gonna start this back in there by hand before we crank it down. Again, everything's loose, so we're keeping it fairly loose. We'll tighten it all at the end. See how these bottom ones might be a little more of a pain in the butt. So I got it all squared up, almost. That's actually looking pretty decent. So it looks pretty square. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and torque it down, and then we'll get started on the other side and knock that out. Perfect. On this side, I put the plastic panel in to make sure I got this bracket high enough. On the other side, it wasn't high enough. I couldn't quite get the panel snapped in on the other side. Had to loosen it all up and raise everything up a little bit. On this side, put that plastic panel in so that way you're sure enough to get it high enough and your piece will snap into place without having to fight it. Okay, both sides are mounted. It's looking really good, very secure. I do have a couple of bags to put on it. I think the items that I'll put in the bags for these Molle panels are going to be like tire repair, batteries, electronics, those little, I guess, small items that might come in handy that you need to get to quickly. In the comments, let me know, how would you organize your Molle panels in your overlanding rig? I'm just curious. I'd love to get your feedback. But thank you to Broaddict Off-Road. I love the looks of the panels. I think they're going to come in extremely useful. So I guess the only thing to do now is let's get these things loaded up. And I guess till next time.